got ready, and it's 9 o'clock. We are going over across the street to eat. Basically, like a cyclone or something is coming up, and that's where all this crazy rain is coming from. So today's probably a washout, but that's all right.
Justin Fair.
All right.
No way. I recognize this one and this. Where have y'all been? Yeah. Well, I know this one was bad.
So y'all leave an impression, right?
I knew why I knew
Hey, good to
him.
see you again.
It's good seeing y'all too. Glad to have you back. I remember them.
I like sitting over here too.
Yeah. Where's Billy and I'll have no idea.
They're talking about going to Mount here.
Oh, okay. They doing what?
Going to Mount here up on the hill.
Protected by Smith and Wesson, do not touch.
That's awesome. Wow. See if I get my flashlight out. Oh yeah, there's a little bed. There we go. Oh, that's so cool.
That's cool, right?
You see the little windows around the
Yeah,
top?
the whole top. It's covered in windows.
That's
all the way
so
around,
cool,
you can
man.
see. Tell me you could travel the whole
Oh,
country with that.
absolutely.
I mean, dude,
This is the dream machine.
carpet and everything.
That is amazing. And it looks cool. Yeah, it really is. Look, it's got the airlines too.
Yeah, so this is hitched. So this swivels.
Oh, wow.
Fifth wheel to this.
Oh wow.
So it's three pieces. Bike, centerpiece for the swivel, for the fifth wheel on the
So
trailer.
you really
It
can't.
has all accessory lights. They all work.
Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah.
All the bumps look on the trailer.
Sure enough.
It's
Dude, that's amazing.
That's
Oh yeah. Dad, you see this little slide window he's got in the back?
you can sit.
Yeah, that's like mine. You just can't tell mine because I got the louver.
That's so cool.
And all the little lights work. Everything. It's very cool.
You got money, man. You got money to dream.
He sent me that video with the guys building that aluminum boat, jet boat. That little small jet boat. He sent me that video. I watched it
Yeah.
before. I said, well, man, if I lived in the mountains with a welding machine and all that crap, I'd build one of those.
Uh-huh.
You dang right.
Yeah, he built the jet boat. I mean, the size of that motorcycle, but he powered it with an electric drill.
Just to test it out.
Yeah, it was
But he actually had a two-stroke jet ski engine he was going to put on there or something like that. Where, yeah, with him by yourself and that engine.
Oh yeah.
That thing's
Be like,
wow.
just
Yeah.
a shot of water coming in.
Yeah. You got the air horns too? Wow.
And the stacks actually work.
That's so cool. I would love to hear it. I bet they sound crazy with the stacks.
You can't hear on the video like talking. I know what you mean. I
Yeah.
want to hear it.
you search online, you find 3 or 4 different videos of this when they first brought it and they drove around stuff, and they blew it for blowing the horn.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Okay.
So yeah.
We'll have to do that.
On Carnival Page, they had a couple links in there with a couple other newspapers or magazines or whatever that did articles on this, and they published some videos and stuff also.
That's
There's a
awesome.
lot out there on it.
We'll have to do that, yes. I want to hear it.
You had that, you could live on it.
I know you're coming up here, you could run with it.
Old Indian?
Let's go back and get the bikes.
I can help you here if you're going in. Oh, you've already been in? Okay, good, thank you.
Smells so good.
How you doing?
Good. I'm enjoying the smell.
I just have to leave. Is this your first time here?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, welcome. And where are you from?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, well, we have 38,000 square feet. It all runs, all American made. You have a
Wow.
camera, take pictures, and that's $15 to go in.
Okay.
Once you're in, you're good till 5 o'clock. You come
5
and go
o'clock?
as you please.
Alrighty.
And then every year we raffle a bike. We're going to raffle the 37 Knucklehead come
Really?
November. You don't have to be present. It's $15.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Well, we have 38,000 square feet. It all runs, all American made.
Y'all pay for it?
Yeah.
Never want to put it on the road.
Foot clutch.
Yeah.
Ship.
I love the
Wow.
That's how old school it is.
like I would pay.
Paint's beautiful.
I want to do a suicide ship on the
They would
bottom.
like set it up.
Yeah. See, that's the front brake.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what
Like a
you got-
bicycle.
You got to know what you're doing. You get out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go, why? Go to shift. Over the handlebars.
Yeah, but nobody's gonna steal it.
Yeah, that's true. Nobody know it. Bye. Go to shit. Alright, sucker. That's actually a good idea.
Slide behind you to put it into the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine. You don't have to. Is that the winning ticket? Hold on a second.
Yeah. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
And the way they bolted the fenders down,
And I noticed this, by the way. You see the, like this would flip up for some reason? I don't know why. Dad.
no, you don't.
Yeah. I was wondering why. Why would this flip up?
Probably, maybe for the tire to come out the back.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, so you don't have to take the whole thing off, just, so I guess it'd be these two on either side, and then it would lift up.
Unless.
Oh, wow.
And all this stuff runs, man. That's the awesome part.
Dirt track. Man, I would love to drive that on a dirt track. It'd be so much fun.
It's hard to believe that gets traction.
Yeah, I know, you're right. That's so cool. I know, the smell is amazing.
Oops, I'm sorry. Stop.
Hey, Billy, how you guys doing today? Good, man.
Good. One day. Make some noise, eh?
Oh, yes! He's gonna start it.
Heads up, y'all. We're gonna start the car.
When, you know, back in the day, you would have had a small dirt track on nearly every major American town, not city, town. You would have had a dirt track. They would have raced cars, dogs, horses, motorcycles at this track, typically by your local fairground. But this thing is the type of car you could have expected to see running around those tracks in the 30s. Was a Model B Ford, which is basically a Model A Ford with a bit of updated bearings and suspension, but it's a hopped up Model B. That is a Morton and Beck overhead valve cylinder head on that thing, so you've got a lot more compression than you did stock. It's got double Winfield carburetors, 3-speed transmission, no
Wow.
front brakes. This is your rear brake right here.
Oh, like
You've
Billy.
got gas, trans, clutch, all in there. Gravity feed tank until you get down to the very end. When you start running out of the gravity pressure, you got to pressurize the tank. Compression on this, I don't know the exact number, but I think they're probably running somewhere like 9 to 1. But mind you, originally this would have been like 4 or 5 to 1 compression, you know. Winfield carburetors on it. You probably never heard of Winfield. You may have heard of Winfield's most famous employee, Mr. Offenhauser.
Yes. Yep.
That's modern speed parts even today. But these things, you know, not built for really top speed, built for more or less going sideways up through the turns at about 60 miles an hour.
Awesome. So they made handbrake drifting back in the day.
No pavement drifting, just on the dirt. Well, welcome in, you guys.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
And that's the water pump right there.
Yep, water pump.
Driven water pump.
Nothing.
And look, you notice, man? This is how they used to do things back in the day. Reasonable joint.
Oh yeah.
Joint. Everything is safe, so it's not thrown away.
Sealed. Yeah.
The second half of the 20th century is one giant party that I wasn't invited to.
You ever watch those videos, the cannonball race? The old vintage bikes? Look, here's the directions. So they race over like 4 or 5 days, and they're all old motorcycles, so they break down. But this is the direction, so whoever finishes first over those days wins.
No way.
So this one won in 2018. This is the cannonball.
Oh, they actually did it.
Yeah.
Oh crap.
It's called the cannonball. You can watch it on YouTube. It's great.
Wait, so I'm guessing this is not reversible? Then I love that they're inline fours.
Oh, wow. Big twin Harley Davidson 80
Beautiful.
flathead at this time period in like 30s and 40s. 4 to 1. Really? Compression. And you can have a V8 in there before you pee in that gas tank.
Hey, that's what we need today.
Yeah, I mean,
$5 gallon gas. Yeah, I'd be
just, I mean, you can run like 3 or 4 leads
Wow, look at this belt drive. Yeah.
That calls.
Hey, thank you for that. You're welcome, guys. If you see anything you want to know a little bit more about while you're walking around,
Yeah.
It's got all that on there.
Motorcycle Day 1911. Unbelievable.
We'll have to ask Mark and Chris. You know they've been up here.
Oh yeah. Look, Motorcycle Day 1911.
it's all hodgepodge bike.
See, this is just keeping something going. You look at this.
Stuff he had laying around the dealership.
American.
Oh yeah,
And we gotta
absolutely.
keep going.
Yeah.
You know?
American Cafe. Wow.
But see, we got what we have today because our grandfathers were crazy enough to go, you know what, see if this works.
We're gonna have the mentality again of just, you know what, let's just make it.
To race the things that they raced and
Yeah.
to put.
But we may have to.
If y'all ever watched the Harley and the Davidsons, that movie.
Yes, the
See,
TV
I
show.
love that scene when Bill Harley, when they come up with the knucklehead, he goes, fastest damn motorcycle in the world. That's what, like you said,
Yeah.
that's what they were all about.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Oh, yeah, he's sitting there, he's got his hat on, his coat on, fastest damn motorcycle in the world. That's when they broke 96 or 100 miles an hour.
Jeez.
I love that scene,
About
man.
that bike that I told you about they found on the wall.
Where? Which one?
Oh, the same guy?
That everybody thought
All
was
right.
looking at.
Oh, okay. Good Lord, there's too much to look at.
said, I'll sell it to you.
Wow.
He said, well, I will trade you any motorcycle I have in this showroom so long as it's used. You can trade me straight up for this bike, any bike you want. So the guy who found the bike originally goes home with a 350 Suzuki. The guy, Tarillo Tachi, takes this into the dealership, has it there for a long time. Now, traded hands amongst collectors until the early 90s. When we got a hold of it, we wanted to know just two questions. if there is no written record of this company ever existing, who made it? Why is there no written record of this company? And why did it end up behind a brick wall?
That's 3 things.
So, I heard that. Well, I've got 17 reasons that I probably count wrong. But the funny thing about it, and we wanted to know those 3 things. And so we started going into old motorcycle magazines looking for any mention of the name or words or phrase or traub. And all we found wasn't the word traub, it was the word trout, T-R-A-U-T. So in 1907, a guy who from 749 North Paulina Street, which is right down the block from where this bike was found, wrote in talking about how he builds his own motorcycle. Now he includes a photo of it. It's not this bike. It's a single-cylinder belt drive bike, and 1907 is too early for this bike anyways. But we thought, well, T-R-A-U-T, he wouldn't have typed this letter to the magazine that he wrote into. He would have handwritten it, and they would have had to put it into type. So they could have very well misspelled his name. So instead of searching for a Richard Trout at 749 North Paulina Street, we went to the census records in the U.S. and searched for a Richard Traub at 749 North Paulina Street. And sure enough, there he is on the 1910 census. Richard G. Traub lists his occupation as experimental machinist, motorcycle repairman.
Go figure.
That's the guy who made this bike. So, looking at his life through the census, this is where we get to the part where I have less facts to back up what I'm speaking about, but I got a pretty good hunch of what it is. So, looking at his life through the census, you can definitely tell that Richard Traub did not have a lot of money. He lived at 749 North Paulina Street, which was one of those long and skinny type apartment buildings, with his 2 sisters who were seamstresses. They took care of their mother, and his brother was a foundry worker. So they all lived together. Not a lot of them had kids. Actually, none of them had kids. So not a lot of money. Now, one of 2 things probably disrupted this.
And weren't they Jewish as well?
Yeah, it's a German-Jewish
Yeah.
last name.
Yeah.
One of 2 things probably disrupted this motorcycle company taking off, so to speak, because, 1916, this bike gonna be pretty advanced for 16.
Way
It's gonna
advanced,
be way more advanced than anything
Way
else on the road.
advanced.
So, the reason that the guys wearing Harley shirts in here are wearing Harley shirts today instead of shirts that say Traub is because probably, you've got all these different motorcycle companies in about 1915. By the 20s, you go from having, in the teens, about 150 brands in America, down to having about 10 brands by the mid-20s. And so, that means Mr. Traub, not having enough money to fund this himself, would have had to go to the bank. And if you were a loan officer at a bank in 1916, you would have probably been reading in the paper every other day about a motorcycle company that's going out of business. Either that or World War I interrupted this process of designing building motorcycles. Between those 2 things, one of those is what I reckon happened. But for whatever reason, the money never came to be, because this is such a lot of effort and work to make a motorcycle that you didn't intend on making a brand. You wouldn't cast your name into it in all those different places. This was a pre-production prototype, is what Mr. Traub wanted it to be. Now, we know according to the census, Mr. Traub moved away from 749 North Paulina Street in the late 30s. Now, I told you the bike was found at 1520 North Paulina Street. That took us a while to figure out. It's way stupider and simpler than you would think. The bike never moved. The numbers on the street did.
More buildings were added.
Yep. So 1520 North Paulina Street, where the bike was found, and 749 North Paulina Street, where Mr. Traub wrote his letters for, are actually the same address, just later on down the road.
Change the number.
So we know that he moved in the late 30s, and probably in the mid to late 30s is when he bricked this bike up. My best guess on that is because this engine, while it runs really great today, that's because Dale rebuilt the engine. This thing was pretty slap worn out when Dale got a hold of it. So, what happened, I guess, and my best guess here, is that he bricked it up because he was afraid of seeing it scrapped. Because he rode this bike, the collectors who had this bike before us didn't run this bike enough to wear out the main bearing, which is what needed replaced. It would start to get kind of knocky after a little while. And so, Mr. Traub probably built this motorcycle never got the funding to make it into its own company, but rode it as his personal motorcycle for a long time. Now, in the 30s, you could not give a teen's motorcycle away to somebody. That's why people turned them into tillers, that was best case scenario, you know. Worst case scenario is that, I mean, I've heard stories of motorcycle dealerships in the 30s, come in with a teen's bike in on trade, they'd give them a little bit of money off for it, they try to sell it, they couldn't, and then they just throw it away if they couldn't get it sold. I've heard of stories of bikes being thrown down wells, and these are bikes you could reasonably expect to find parts for. This bike, you know, Richard Traub made every single part on this motorcycle, so if it stops running and Richard Traub doesn't fix it, it's going to get thrown away. So I think he was very aware of what was going to happen to him if he just let this bike go out into the world rather than hide it away. I think it was going to be scrapped. So Mr. Traub probably bricked this bike up in the hopes that maybe one day it would be appreciated. And, well, whatever the opposite of spinning in your grave is, but that guy, eyes shut, sleeping soundly, I tell you what, I bet.
He's rolling.
So we call it the world's rarest motorcycle today because had they knocked the building it was found down in 67, we just wouldn't be talking about this motorcycle. You know, there's no written record. I mean, even with the letters and, you know, all the stuff we've had to back this up, you could read that and without the context of this bike, you'd probably just shrug your shoulders and go, oh, that's cool. And that'd be the end of it.
It was found in 67?
67.
And you say bricked up. They actually...
False wall. So they think like two-story apartment building, long and skinny. The guy who was redoing these apartments noticed that the floor square footage wasn't the same, so they created a false wall and pushed the bottom floor kind of forward a bit.
You know how many false walls and crap probably still exist with crap hidden?
Worst
You get a
part
whole
about
motorcycle.
this bike,
That's where I'm like, I want to knock
where
walls down.
the way you would start this bike is you wouldn't kick through the compression like you would on a Harley Davidson or something. You would squeeze this lever, and you can watch your exhaust valves. That's this one and this one.
This bike was way advanced. Go listen. I know
They hold
everything
it
about
open,
this.
that decompresses your motor. You would then kick it about 10 times. Got real big, heavy flywheels in this bike. That gets those flywheels going, and with no compression, they can spin over pretty easy. Dump compression, add gas. But that means you have to kick it like 6 times every time you want to start it. The teeth on the kicker gear are starting to wear out. Now, we've gotten away with it for a few years. We weld the teeth back on the gear and file them down into shape. We're at the point now where we have to do that again. But there, you can only do that so many times. So right now, it's bump start only. The world's rarest motorcycle right now runs, but you got to ride it if you want to run it.
Something to say, a bump start. Yeah.
And you will be able to see it come July. We'll be firing this one up next time for our 20th anniversary.
Oh, neat. When is that?
July.
Probably a few days leading up to it to make sure we're all ship shape.
July this year, right?
Yep. So we're going to do 20 of the rarest bikes in here leading up in the 20 days leading up to this, and then on that day for our 20th anniversary, we're going to try and do all 20.
Oh, man. Cool. Love how it's got
I have to
four
double
boards.
check it's going to be, because we typically celebrate our anniversaries on the 4th. Museum technically opened on July 2nd, 2002. So the 2nd or the 4th.
Oh, yeah.
We know that Traub was an independent repairman, and in the early teens and the late aughts, he would have worked with so many manufacturers.
Wouldn't that be fun to just remake something like this?
The last time I was here, this was out front, in front of the shop. And when I started talking to him about it, Dale, the son, he just jumped in and cranked it up, took off.
Oh, man.
I helped him roll it back so he could clear the way and get around. And he just took off, went down the driveway. I'm like,
what a cool job.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
What the? Whoa.
I didn't even notice that.
You know, I heard this was a thing
I've
back
seen
then.
it, yeah.
They added, dude.
In the 1800s, they did something like that. Not that advanced, but they had something like that.
Did you see the wooden bike in front of it too?
Yeah.
Oh crap!
I
Yeah.
just noticed that.
Wow.
Look at a wooden bike.
Yeah.
I didn't notice I put him to left behind. And I went, what a lot. And he goes, you know, they put the bead locks on the wheels. I didn't even notice that. The dude literally screwed into those rims with bolts to put lips on the rims to keep them from breaking the beads off the rim.
Wow.
Back in 1958.
That's incredible.
That's insane.
That-
That means he was going fast.
Yeah. Yeah, no joke. I love the old tools.
Yeah, I'm looking at this with the belt driven.
Yeah. Is that a belt?
Yep.
Oh crap, that is a belt.
You're going to need a forearm to swing it.
Oh yeah.
Because it literally is that hard.
That's cool.
Supercharged.
Supercharged?
Supercharged V8.
What?
Well, why is the hood pop?
We need to get our friend to open it up.
Yeah, so he was just saying, you might start.
They can't start the drag bike because the carb's off. I already knew he ain't gonna do it because you need that high voltage star crank, and they tend to want to let one expression from 1958. But if you look up the YouTube video, he cranked it up, and got it running. This is cool.
74,507.
Wow. I love make it look like old parts, like warehouse or something. The old shelving and stuff.
It's just so cool how they say everything.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for them stairs. I still love those stairs. That's coming back now. The new super modern, mega wealthy houses.
The big swirl
Yep.
stairs.
I'm like, that's cool. Not gonna lie.
I've hurt myself on it a couple times.
But
He's gonna point out to him. Dad.
Because it's all worn out.
Hey, Dad.
Because it's all worn out.
It would fit right in the That's what's cool. Hey, Dad, look, you got your helmet. What? You got your helmet on display.
oh,
The LS2. Oh, yeah.
it's an antique now.
Yeah, it's an antique. Back in 1813. They made those back then? Yeah. Wow, I didn't realize. That's what Jackie said about it. I mean, this is a contest. Oh, it would. It would fit fine in this museum. But that's what's cool because that's what everybody comes to look at. Mm-hmm. I'd say that's
Look at this.
I know, huh?
It's an old generator.
Is it welding?
I don't know if it's welding or not because you got amperage, positive and negative ground, volts, ground to. Yeah, Billy.
It's got to be a welder.
Oh, there you are. What is this?
Most likely a Tesla machine.
I think it's a dyno.
Yeah.
Put the motor in there and see how much.
That's exactly what it is. Look at the chain on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right?
It is a dyno.
Wow, Dad.
That is an engine dyno.
Engine dyno. Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah, look, load,
Oh, look.
generator battery.
Go from 10 volts to 20.
Yeah.
Just the field current. Yeah, that's what it is. Dyno. Look at the electric motor on this thing now, dude.
Wow. Wait, am I recording it? Oh, there it is. Dude,
Yeah, that's the other dyno, yeah.
look behind here.
More stuff, huh?
The old switches and all.
Oh, yeah. Fire hazards.
Yeah, oh yeah, fire hazard big time.
I wonder if this is
Yeah, oh shit.
See, we could put your bike in here. This dude did 100 on a Blue Ridge Park.
Yeah, in a corner.
No front brake.
Antique
Have a
tires.
picture right by you, man. Stand above it. There you go. I mean that as a compliment.
Thor. That's cool.
Stroke, key, timing's where it needs to be.
Throttles on that side.
So did it sound like that back in the day? Called it the overhead motor or the EL at first. So these things are 1,000 cc, and 39 is really the year to have it, because you still get all the gorgeous 30s styling, but without any of the early 30s kind of design teething issues. So what I'm going to do to run this, I've got the gas on. I'm going to make sure I have gas first, actually. Always a good start.
Yeah, you're fine.
I got a
We
flash.
got
Man.
tons
I got a match if you need to look down there.
That'll be perfect. Just like the 30s.
Yeah.
I seen Bugs Bunny do it.
All right. So we're going to do 2 kicks to prime it.
That was 3.
How does you remember all this stuff?
Each bike's a little different. And
Oh,
once
that's
one
right.
bites you back for doing it wrong, you don't forget.
Oh, that's true.
All right. Now we've done 2 kicks to prime it. I got the key on. I got throttle here. Spark timing's where it needs to be. 1 kick. You ready?
I believe it.
That's a bold statement, but let's see if I can make it happen. I'll advance the timing a bit. That's
Oh, an idle's awesome.
You like the Harley Road.
There it is.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, you're good, man.
Good lord. Hazard reject. The back seat drive?
Wow.
Crazy, huh?
Boy, this is beautiful. It's clean black.
So 50 seconds full.
Wow. Check this out.
Oh yeah, right there.
That's the key to open it up. That's a key.
XR12.
Make some to go with that one.
It's definitely new.
The bike I just showed you a picture of that I rode to Florida in.
Yeah.
See, that's what it was mocked after. I guess.
Oh,
Shot
yeah.
750. Handlebars, same.
Wow.
Looked just like one.
crazy. Little sport bike, that's cool. Wow, that's cool too. Dang, look at that tire. Is this the one Billy was talking about starting up?
I'm not sure.
Oh man. Jeez. That's nasty.
That couple sitting down right there.
Yeah, I know. That's not,
Freaking.
I know. That's the one.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Like real person. So, the guy, that nice guy was
Really?
Oh, this is cool. Red one. Big old cooling fins. What? Big cooling fins.
Yeah, right over there.
When I was a kid, I used to watch them racing.
Wow.
No, at Jeff.
Oh, you go there?
I used to go every year when I was a kid. Sell pamphlets and we could win for free. I'd sell kids.
Oh, this is front wheel drive? This is front wheel drive. Dad. Front wheel drive.
Oh man.
No, we went around the house.
Really hoping they'd have more.
Oh wow, there's that thing.
Do you want it to say Percy, Urban? Okay, that would be okay to do it that way? Okay, very good. Well, I will be speaking with you next month. And did you decide what you
Oops,
want
excuse me.
for your dedication? Or not yet? Okay, well, you keep thinking about it. We have time, okay? Okay, well then I'm gonna call you on the 10th and we can do it then. Is that okay? Okay, very good. Well, yeah, don't you worry. I'll call you on the 10th and we'll straighten that out, okay? Thanks.
That seat looks really comfortable. Oh, cassette player. Cool. Man, Road Glide has barely changed. Still the side. Oh, that's right, the old backwards. That is crazy. Huh, that's cool. Oh, is that a waterproof case? There it is. That's cool. Treasure room. Yeah. Cleaning up the bikes. Had some rock and roll music on. Got Seth's bike all cleaned up. His bike cleaned up. Uncle Tim's bike cleaned up. We ain't worrying about the Hondas. We're fine. It's it's plastic. You know, the old metal stuff, we'll take care of.